Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And for this video, I got some exciting news. I just got this in the mail. The all-new Eclipse Pixel. Now, I think one of the coolest releases of the year. The Pixel, obviously, when it first came out, was a huge success, and everybody loved it. And I've gotten quite a few notices from people that were wondering when a premium plastic Pixel was going to come out. And luckily in this drop for their spooky Halloween special edition, they came out with this Eclipse Pixel along with three other special edition discs, which include the Fission Pyro, the Eclipse Wave, and the Eclipse Detour. Now for this video, I'm only going to be reviewing the Eclipse Pixel, but if you want me to review those other discs, drop a comment down below and I'll make sure to make a video on it soon. But let's get straight into the disc. Now, getting into the disc, if you don't know much about it, this is Simon Lizotte's putting putter of choice. He switched to this disc from the Anode, I believe, and basically it's just a point and shoot putter. Now, I've never thrown any of the Electron Pixels, but based on the feel, it feels pretty straight in my opinion. And from what I've heard from other people is that it flies oddly similar to a Proxy, which is also Simon Lizotte's throwing putter of choice. And so I figured I would compare the two to see if there's any differences in flight and truly see how useful the Eclipse Pixel is. Just based off looks, the Pixel is a little bit more rounded, has a little bit of a rounded shoulder up here comparative to the Proxy, which is significantly flatter and much shallower comparative to the Pixel. Now I will say, in this Eclipse plastic, I'm not sure if it's just because it's a little gummier or a little bit softer in the hand in general, but it feels less deep comparative to the Electron Pixel. And I'm not sure if it's just my brain messing with me, but it feels a lot more comfortable in the hand and can honestly feel like a really comfortable throwing putter. If we're comparing this to an MVP disc, I would say it feels like it has a similar depth to an Ion. And if we're comparing this to a disc from a different manufacturer, I would say it's really comparable to a Luna. But we'll see how it flies. I'll see you guys out there. All right, guys, made it out to the field. We got the brand new Eclipse Pixel. Gonna be throwing this soft Proxy and the Ion. They look sort of similar. The Pixel kind of has a higher shoulder and feels a little bit deeper, but I figure I compare all three and kind of give you an idea of how the Pixel will fly comparative to other MVP discs. But let's get it started. I'm going to try to throw this thing about 80% out to the middle, flat, see how it responds. Flew basically pretty straight. I'm throwing a little bit of headwind, so kind of push, but then just hyzered out slowly in the end. You can kind of compare this to the Proxy and get an idea of how similar it is to it. I think this will probably push a little bit straighter, maybe not finish as much, but let's see. So Proxy pushing a little bit straighter and still had the same finish. It might have pushed straighter for another 20 feet, but pretty similar flights, honestly. And then last is the R2 Neutron Ion. Let's see how this flies. R2 Neutron Ion flies pretty similar. It probably dumped the earliest. I probably threw it a little bit nose up, but all pretty similar. The Pixel's probably right in between those two. But let's get some distances and try to put a little bit more power on these and see how far I can throw them. See how far this mic can pick me up too. The Ion, I'm assuming I threw the shortest. Those are my putting putters. Or that is one of my putting putters. Let's see. So here's my R2 Neutron Ion. I'm rating that to the bag. About 288 feet. A little bit downhill. Here's my Proxy. It's about right here. Proxy went about 306 feet. And the Pixel right here, about 300 flat. So, all pretty similar. So far, not too surprised by the flight of the Pixel. Flies really clean. Basically, could release it kind of flat and then just trust it to slowly fade off to the left. It'll push straight for pretty long, and overall, pretty good disc so far. I would say actually the only thing I expected is that in this Eclipse plastic, I thought it was going to be just a tad bit more overstable, but I'd say it's pretty solid. And for people that really just like slightly deeper putters, I would highly recommend the Pixel. There's not much to dislike about it, but I'm going to try to throw these a little bit harder, see if I can push these past 320, maybe 330. I'm basically just going to try to throw these a little bit harder, see how torque resistant they are. It's a little bit of headwind coming off right now, so let's see how far I can throw them. All right, Pixel first. Let's try to get this thing bombed out there. A little bit of anti-foot on the disc. Kind of just gliding off to the right. Yeah, basically dead straight with the proxy. Ion, let's see. Max distance. Try to put this a little bit of anti. Try to put a little bit of anti on it. That thing's definitely got a lot of distance on it. Let's see how far it went. Let's take a look at the distance. I bombed this thing. 337 feet with the Pixel, pretty good. Proxy 306, and the Ion's 306 too. So yeah, after throwing this Pixel a couple of times, I would say that, as the flight numbers say, fits right in between a Proxy and an Envy. So if your Proxy's a little too straight and your Envy's a little bit too stable, I would highly recommend getting a Pixel. Definitely, when I put a little bit of power and a little bit of anhyzer on it, you could tell that it wanted to fight out, but it didn't want to just dump to the left like an Envy would for me. It wanted just to pan to the right and then slowly come out of it and finish on a little bit of angle. Yeah, I would say that basically sums up what the Pixel is. I can imagine a lot of people throwing this for people that don't like the feel of a Proxy either, because when I put a lot of power on it, it still wanted to hold straight, similar to how a Neutron Soft Proxy is. Overall, really like the disc. Yeah, if you want to check some out, I have some on my website. I think I'll have a handful left. I'll put the link in the description below, and you can check out all the colors there. I think I'll have a pretty wide assortment. But besides that, that's basically the whole review. I appreciate you guys all for watching. This one was a little bit shorter than usual, but I'm sure some of you guys will appreciate that. If you guys have any questions about the Pixel that I didn't answer, make sure to put them in the comments below. I would appreciate if you guys like and subscribe. All the support's been awesome lately, and I'm stoked to keep this channel running. But besides that, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.